Welcome back to Tasty Tech Tips. Today I'm going to be talking about why I'm upgrading from the iPhone 13 Pro Max to the 16 Pro Max, and why I believe for most of you it's not really needed, but why it's needed in my circumstance. Let's get into it. So first of all, I have the iPhone 13 Pro Max in the Sierra Blue to 128 gigabytes. That's going to be the main thing that I'm going to be mentioning throughout the video. First of all, best color on any iPhone, period, on any smartphone, period, really. And the reason I'm upgrading is going to be my storage has been full since I bought this phone, and now I'm getting that dreadful iPhone storage full, or whatever the message specifically says, to the point where I can't send messages, I can't send videos, it struggles to go through the web because it has no space to breathe. And I do have a 2TB iCloud plan. I don't have any games on my phone right now. I only have apps that I actually use on a day-to-day basis. My essential social media apps for communicating with friends, family, coworkers, and work apps, finance apps, banking apps. And that's all I really have on my phone right now, and it's been full. So to be fair, that has nothing really to do with Apple or iOS. That's just with time, apps are gonna get bigger. We've seen the size of game files on PC. We went from games that were a few hundred megabytes to a few gigabytes to hundreds of gigabytes at a time for games that feel like very similar graphical quality. That's just kind of how it goes with time. Things are gonna get bigger, and that's really unfortunate. But the 13 Pro Max, I feel like, had the best color on any iPhone. It was far ahead of its time. Its chipset is still incredibly powerful. The only thing it's missing is Apple Intelligence support, and that's for the RAM capacity. It's only 6 gigabytes on the 13 Pro Max, but on the 16s and the 15 Pro, they have 8 gigabytes. And according to Apple Intelligence is only going to run, efficiently with that amount of RAM. We'll never know if that's really the truth, but we're going to have to take it for what it is. That's the one thing we're missing. But if you don't need all those AI assistive features, if you like owning your phone, you being in control, and you doing everything and using it as a tool and not using writing tools, not using photo cleanup, if you don't need any of that, 13 Pro Max is still fantastic. Something I've also loved to come and that I've come to love, oh my gosh, I can't speak, the things that I've came to love and learn about the phone is that this iPhone is also the last phone that I really consider the simple, it just works magic, like it's magic type of iPhone experience. This iPhone features 5G, second device to come with it, with the millimeter wave in the US, last one to come with the SIM card slot in the US. It also still has a silencer and ringer switch, which modern iPhones, they now have the action button. You can reprogram it. The new iPhone 16s, they have the camera control button, which lets you quickly access a lot of controls, fine-tune a lot of settings, access visual intelligence through Apple Intelligence. But this iPhone also doesn't have that. This iPhone is also the last iPhone with a notch. They did make the notch smaller for this one, and this is before the dynamic island. So yeah, there's a lot less stuff on this phone. It's a lot more simple. It's a lot less to go wrong, and it's a lot less to configure and worry about, interact with. It's very simple. It also still has the lightning port, so all of your old cables and everything are still going to work with this phone. It also has MagSafe, so you're able to use MagSafe accessories. And this was also the first iPhone to feature Pro Motion. So the display on this phone is very fast, very smooth. iOS feels amazing. And in my honest opinion, the fact that it's so simple, so clean, has an amazing color, and has less features to worry about, it makes it so much more accessible to everyone. There's less of a learning curve. It just works, right? It's so simple. It's so similar to every iPhone before it, but it improved on the core features that it needed to, right? The performance, the battery life, the display, it all looks fantastic. And yes, I know it has a notch, but it's a lot smaller, and on a day-to-day basis, coming from someone who actually uses the phone and isn't just an Android fanboy who likes to just hate and talk about how Apple's terrible, even though they're part of the reason why the Android phones have hit the point that they are, it's not noticeable. I was someone who complained about it when I got the phone, like, oh, I should have waited, the dynamic island's out, oh my god, I want to get a new phone now, like, I regret it. But after using the phone, for 2 years, almost 3 years, I think actually 3 years now, it makes no difference on a day-to-day basis. It's actually convenient that I don't have another interactable widget up there that I have to tap and manage. But yeah, it's such a great option if you have an older iPhone and you're thinking about upgrading. If you have an 11, if you have a 10, if you have a 7, there's people who are still using those devices because iPhone lasts such a long time. the 13 Pro Max, I feel like is still a great option. I've seen them for going for like, 4 to 600 on Amazon, Walmart, obviously refurbished, and then certified refurbished through Apple, around $900 for 512 gigabyte for 1 terabyte. And the benefit of getting it through Apple is you do get the 1-year manufacturer warranties. They restart it when they do the certified refurbished program. You get the cables, everything inside the box, and you do have the option to actually add the Apple Care, since when you buy certified refurbished, the period for Apple Care kind of ends. As far as I understand, maybe you're able to add it afterwards. I'm not too sure. But yeah, this phone is fantastic, especially if you already have one. If you have a 256 gigabyte or higher, or if you don't even use up that 128 gigabytes, it's still incredibly fast. It's incredibly smooth, great for multitasking. If you want to play games, it's incredible. And this was the iPhone that had like the best battery life. Everyone talks about the battery life on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Go on to any YouTuber's comparison of the 13 Pro Max to the 16 Pro Max, and they're going to talk about how great this phone is. It's just amazing. And the only reason I want to upgrade is because the cost for me, with me having some discounts and being able to trade in the phone, it's the exact same going to a 13 Pro Max 1 terabyte and a 16 Pro Max 1 terabyte. It's similar. But yeah, at that point, I might as well just upgrade my phone, get the latest and greatest, new chips. Again, I talked about the simplicity and everything, but I do have the camera control now. I do have the action button now. I do have the dynamic island. I have improved MagSafe charging capabilities. Now it's 25 watts wirelessly, and by the wire, it's now 30 watts. So there is a lot of great options and updates, and also USB-C now. I have the same cable as my iPad, my MacBook, my AirPods when I upgrade them, as my friends' phones, my dad's phone. So I have a lot of options there, and I really need the storage. I am someone who has iCloud. I have a 2 terabyte plan. I'm using 600 gigabytes of it, and I'm sharing it with my friends. And yeah, my phone is just always full. Even if I delete all my games, even if I delete some of my essential apps that I generally use day to day, I don't have storage on my phone. So it kind of just makes sense for me to upgrade. I mean, it has titanium design now. It has a dynamic island, the ceramic shield, which is the name of the glass technology, which makes it a lot more crack resistant, just a little bit more prone to scratching. It has further improved the camera system, going from a 12 megapixel camera to a 48 megapixel system, spatial photos, spatial video, so I can get immersed in photos and videos if I ever do get an Apple Vision Pro. Yeah, there's a lot of good things with the new phones. And also, one really good one to know about is the emergency SOS. We all know about the iPhones. You press the power button too many times, it starts a siren, and it'll start calling the police within 6 seconds. Now you're able to contact emergency services over satellite. You can get road assistance over satellite. You can get automatic car crash detection if you're in a bad car crash, and you can also send messages via satellite, which has been included for free. I know it comes 2 years for free, but they haven't announced any pricing as far as I'm aware as making a subscription. But for me, I might as well upgrade to the latest phone because there's a lot more stuff there. And I'm sure once I use the 16 Pro Max for a few years, I'm gonna talk about how great of a phone it was. But I love this phone, and I highly recommend. Honestly, you can keep it for a lot longer if you don't notice that you need a new one. If it doesn't feel slow to you, maybe you need a battery replacement. Which, by the way, if you have Apple Care, battery replacement's already included when it drops below 80%. It's a great phone to hold on to. But if you need the latest and greatest, you're a very big business person, you take a lot of photos, a lot of videos, you're a social media content creator, you do sponsored videos, you show off products, affiliate marketing, real estate agent, it makes sense to upgrade to the latest and greatest. You have a lot more features, a lot more safety features, a lot more tools. You have access to the entire Apple Intelligence suite, which is further improving and getting access to new features. So it really depends on you. For me, if my battery didn't need replacing and I did have the storage space to just, continue using my phone, I think I would have stayed on this phone and probably waited another year or two. But considering all the upgrades and the cost being making sense for me to just kind of get a newer phone, because it's going to cost the same as getting the old one but with a higher storage option, I'm finally going to upgrade to the 16 Pro Max. But let me know, what phone are you currently using? Are you even using an iPhone? Why do you use your phone? Are you upgrading? What are you going to be upgrading to? This place is a safe space for no matter what device you're using. If you're using something that uses Android, that uses iOS, that uses Harmony OS, that uses custom versions of Android, I love all smartphones. I love all technology. I know I praise Apple quite often because I generally love their devices and think they're so well thought, and I feel like they don't get enough appreciation from time to time for the huge impact they've made in the tech space, because none of anything that we'd have right now would exist without Apple, would exist without Microsoft, would exist without Google. Even though they're like the huge companies and people always crap on them, there's still things to appreciate from them as well. I don't think Apple is perfect. I don't think every iPhone is perfect. There's a reason I made sure not to upgrade to the 14s or the 15s, and that I was able to hold on to my older device, because I feel like the older device was more well thought through, and I felt like it was a better release. But the 16s Pro and Pro Max seem like amazing devices, so I think I'm gonna upgrade. And just to be transparent, I also had some Androids. I had a Galaxy S5. I had a OnePlus 6T, which I think is the best Android phone ever made, especially for the money that I got it for. Incredible phone before OnePlus became a flagship brand and started charging outrageous prices and being so inconsistent year over year. I also had a Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, which was an incredible device. And I also had a bunch of other little Android smartphones, cheaper ones as well. And I had a lot of iPhones. I mean, I had a 4, I had a 4S, I had a 5, I had a 5C, I had a 7 Plus, I had an 11, and now the 13 Pro Max, and now maybe the 16 Pro Max. So I feel like I'm able to speak on these with a pretty open mind and having, an idea between different devices and different sides. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the different phones. But most likely, I'm gonna order a phone right now, and here in a few days, you guys are gonna see a video of me unboxing the phone, talking about how I customize it, how I maximize the use of the new features, how do I feel about it after day to day, how do I feel about it after a few months, after a year, and talking about, maybe this becomes my new 13 Pro Max. I doubt it, only because they don't have Sierra Blue, best color in an iPhone, and you have no clue how mad I will be if they drop Sierra Blue or bring it back or something similar on the 17 or the 18. It will drive me insane, because I also don't believe in upgrading a phone every year. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, make sure to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button if you guys enjoyed the video, dislike if you didn't, comment again, let me know what phone are you using, what are you looking to upgrade to, are you an Android person, are you an iOS person, are you looking to jump ship to either side, do you have a 13 Pro Max, what are your opinions on it, and yeah, like I said, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.